Hello, loves. Hello, it's Hills again from the Blue Flame Apothecary. How are you? This wormhole, as I've been calling it, between the Lionsgate portal, the Venus star point, which is happening on Sunday the 13th, and the new moon, which is on Wednesday the 16th, is really powerful. You may have noticed. I am going to have a longer video about the new moon itself, but I felt a deep calling to pop in really quickly and just share some feels about this Venus star point and a little bit about what the Venus star point actually is and how to work with the energy. So the Venus star point is the moment when the sun and the planet Venus meet in conjunction. This happens every 18 months or so, and generally it repeats in different signs. So you may remember the last Venus star point, the one that was in 2022, was the first one in a very, very long time that took place in Libra. They had been running in Scorpio. We're also in a cycle of Leo Venus star points. This particular star point is a conjunction between the sun and Venus. While Venus is in retrograde motion, Venus is moving backwards through the sun, through the center of the sun, and re-emerging on the other side. When Venus re-emerges, she will be a morning star. This is one of the reasons that we call it the Venus star point, is because Venus has two personas. Venus is the evening star and the morning star. During Venus's time as the morning star, we can start to bring to the surface. We can start to bring to the surface old things. One of the ways that we can feel into it is with the archetypal energy of Persephone. Persephone spends half of the year in the underworld and half of the year in the upper world. The morning star Venus is that Venus that is in the upper world. Interestingly, Venus is emerging into the upper world while in retrograde motion. So the access to the depths through our shadow work, through our internal mechanisms, is being activated. It's being brought to the surface. The image that I'm being given is like putting salt on a red wine stain. It helps to pull up. It helps to pull up the stain. And that's kind of the energy that we're working in. And it's in Leo. So it's unearthing the debris, the clutter that we've piled on top of our creativity, our full-hearted, full-throttle, life force creation magic sort of energy. So, ways to work with this. On Sunday, on the 13th, this is another interesting thing. The number 13 is associated with the goddess. So one of the things that I'm feeling is a really beautiful opportunity to play with our more feminine qualities. Feminine qualities are introspection. If you connected to the Black Ray activation that I facilitated in July, that's actually, if you haven't, or even if you had, going back to that, and I'll put a link below, would be a great way to feel into these energies. I also facilitated a live transmission and activation on the Lionsgate portal. There will be a link below if you want to check that out. It's available for free in my members portal. I'm hearing like ecstatic dance as a way to work with this energy. This doesn't mean that you have to, you know, dance naked through your kitchen or whatever, but if you do want to, amazing, do it. It means letting your sense of self dance ecstatically through the world. That's what I'm hearing. Letting your sense of self dance ecstatically through the world. I love that I'm talking about the black ray and the ravens are cawing all around me and flying all around me. It's amazing. Let me feel. If you have black obsidian, if you work with crystals and you have black obsidian, this would be this Venus portal, this Venus star point portal would be a great time to work with black obsidian. Another energy that is really loud right now, really loud, is clearing old patterns and stuck energy through your ancestral lineage. So maybe you can touch into your maternal lineage line to feel things that you're carrying within your patterning that you inherited from your mother or from your grandmother or from anyone that is down that line, or even your paternal grandmother, that you can feel. Let me take a moment here because this one wants to come through in a really specific way. Cast your heart back. Cast your heart back down the line and start with your mother. Let's start with the mother line. Start with your mother and feel any judgments that you have about self that you inherited from her. They could be things that she projected onto you, about your weight, about the way you dress, about the way you act in the world, yada, 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 all the things that it could be. It could also be more subtle. But feel that wound, feel that place where you received a not enoughness from your maternal line. As you cast back through the heart, touch in with the place where that wound originated in your mother. You will likely find that her mother, or maybe even her father, had a through line, and you can probably cast it all the way down the line. And when you can start to feel that the things that she not enough to you about, she inherited from her mother, who not enough to her about it, who inherited it from her mother, who not enough to her about it, and down and down and down the line, you can start to find that place where it first took root. And because you're able to see it now, to feel it now in your heart space, the ability to no longer own it, to no longer be it in the world, that wound can start to fall away. And this is healing all the way down the ancestral line. This is healing all the way down the ancestral line to that place. It's getting to the root and actually clearing it from that spot. Through that, then you can say, I am enough. I've always had enoughness. I've always had wholeness. And that's one of the ways that we let our soul, our true sense of self, ecstatically dance in the world. Let me feel if there's anything else that wants to come through right now about this Venus star point. Venus will re-emerge on the other side of the sun right around the time of the new moon, maybe a couple of days after. So if you're into dawn walks, if you're into getting up as the sun is rising and in the hours before and taking a walk or taking a look outside, maybe you're invited to do that. Go out there, because Sirius is just re-emerging as well. So we have both Sirius and Venus about to start to present in our pre-dawn skies right now. So if you've been thinking about starting a dawn walk ritual, this is a great time to do it. I did last year. It was magnificent. And at that time, it was actually transitioning the other way around for Venus coming onto it. But I have heard that I'm going to be doing that again this year also. In the next week or two, I get to start getting up at about 5 in the morning and taking walks. I think that's where we'll leave for today. Like I said, in a couple of days, I'll have a full report for us about the Leo new moon that's coming on the 16th. And I invite you to come check out the Lionsgate transmission and 12D light codes activation. Go cast your net back down the mother line and down the Mary's line through the Akasha transmission and Mary's black ray activation. And if the members portal calls to you, amazing. If a soul path journey calls to you, amazing. I would love to work with you in all of the ways. And however you're journeying and all of the ways that you're journeying during this amazing portal, spectacular and beautifully uncomfortable portal that we're in, I share with you, as always and in all ways, so much and many loves from, through, and beyond all the dimensions.